Welcome back to Hyper Lemon GT. So how much does it cost to run a Porsche Bosxter for a year? In today's video, we're going to be answering just that. And we're not going to be talking about how much it costs to finance a Bosxter. We're going to be talking about the actual running costs of the car, assuming you have bought it outright. So I've owned this car for 6 months now, and I've driven it 6,000 miles. Did a nice bit long road trip up to Scotland, and I also did a track day at Donington Park, and I've just been generally driving it around quite a lot. So we're going to break the cost down into 3 parts. First part is like the annual running cost. This is the cost that you need just to drive the car like 1 mile. If you do 1 mile or 10,000 miles, it's going to be essentially the same cost. It's almost like fixed cost. Then we're going to have the driving cost. This is like the variable cost. So like how much of fuel, tires and things. And then finally we're just going to add on some other costs, like if you do track days and things like that. So starting off with the annual cost that you have to pay even to just do like 1 mile in the car. So first of all, you have insurance. This is highly dependent on how much driving experience you have, how old you are, things like that. But for me, the insurance is about £700 a year. Next up, we have the tax. So road tax in the UK, everybody has to pay that, and it's £330 a year for this car. And finally, we have the servicing costs. So now I haven't actually serviced this car yet because I've only had it 6 months, and the service interval is every 2 years or 20,000 miles. But I'm going to factor it in because it is a cost I'll have to deal with in the future. So the Bosxter, it alternates between a major and a minor service. The minor service at an independent is about £300. The major one is about £400. My next service is actually the major one, so it's going to be £400. So basically it's £200 a year for the running costs of that. So we add up the costs and we end up with $1,230 just to go like 1 mile. So now we're going to talk about the variable costs. These are the costs that if you drive the car, you're going to incur the costs as you go. So first of all is actually petrol. This is the biggest variable cost. It's not a particularly fuel efficient car. On track, this does 10 miles to the gallon. On a very long motorway journey, it actually does 37 miles to the gallon. And my average that I get is something around 25 miles to the gallon. So if we assume 10,000 miles a year at 25 miles to the gallon, that comes at what, 400 gallons, and then you have to do some maths here, and you end up essentially at about £2,200 a year in fuel costs at the current £1.20 per litre. To the American viewers, yes, fuel costs £1.20 per litre here. Second variable cost is tyres. So I've actually had to put 2 tyres on this car. One wore out and the other one got a puncture. So 2 tyres is actually £500. And I would think if you were to be lucky, didn't get a puncture or anything, a set of tyres will last you probably 2 years, and they cost £1,000 for a set. So it's about £500 per year on tyres. Next up, we actually have parking. So you drive your car around, you go to car parks, you've got to park it overnight, things like that. I spent probably about £200 on parking this car. This is going to be highly dependent on where you live. If you live in central London, it's going to cost you £300 a month for secure parking. And then the final variable cost is going to be cleaning. You've got to clean your car. So you can pay somebody to do it, or you can do it yourself, of course. I've actually been doing it myself, but I did buy cleaning products. I bought some good ones, and that's like £120, and I think it'll last 1 year. So keep it in good condition with that. So that brings our total variable cost to £3,020 per year. Now the final cost is the cost of the track day, and that was £140 for the day, plus £250 for insurance. So that comes out at a total of £390 for the track day. So if we add up all of the costs, we actually come to £4,620 for the year. Now you got to remember that that includes the cost of a track day, plus fuel is half of that almost. So now I just want to come up with a bonus round of costs. I think there are costs that could be incurred that I haven't spoken about. So the first one is actually brakes. I would imagine a set of brakes probably lasts like 30,000 miles or something, but my front brakes are coming up to need replacing, and I think that's going to cost probably £600 for a set of brakes on the front, discs and pads. And then if of course anything breaks, there's going to be additional costs there. And finally there's depreciation. So putting 10,000 miles on a car in 1 year is going to definitely depreciate it. We could do an entire video on depreciation, but I don't think we'll do that. But I think my estimate would be probably about £3,000 lost in depreciation from 1 year and 10,000 miles. So there you go. There is the cost of running a Porsche Bosxter 981. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and like the video and leave a comment. And yeah, I would like some more subscribers. I've been looking at my numbers, and 0.2% of my viewers are subscribers. So it would be nice to get that up to maybe 1%. Got a target there. Let's see if we can do it.